Hello and welcome to Southern Scream Queens. I'm Hazel.
I'm Sabrina.
And I'm Danielle. The gang's all here. Everybody's here.
Yay!
Do you want to show the wine? We have a wine today again. Where did it go?
What's it called?
Oh my god.
Sweet Rosé. It's Oliver brand. The man at the liquor store said, "Hey, have you tried this?" I said, "Nope." And he handed it to me and I bought it.
Okay, we're ready to smell it?
I think it smells good. Don't even be dramatic.
Well, I don't know.
I think it smells
about to
delish.
throw up.
I like it.
Yeah.
No.
It's,
It's
a little
something.
something.
It's something.
I mean, it's not the worst. It really isn't.
I like it.
I probably wouldn't get it again.
She's literally drinking it like it's apple juice.
It tastes like juice to me.
It like burns a little.
I like it.
I don't know.
Do you want to try her, Sebastian?
Don't do
Come here.
it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay.
Y'all better hush. I'm leaving that in. Show the real me. Okay, that wine fucking sucked to me, so I have switched to this. What is zesty orange screwdriver?
I love a zesty orange juice.
Oh my god,
That's
so much
delicious.
better. That is good.
That's very good. It reminds me of Donald Duck orange juice, which is my favorite.
This is Donald Duck for adults.
Yes. We are trying out a spooky story this week. I have notes for Tunnel 9 in East Bernstadt. I think it's okay to share that I used to live there. I grew up there, and that's part of like the local lore. I spent literally half of my life there. Basically my whole life I've heard nothing but stuff about Tunnel 9, and Red-Eyed Caleb is what people would call him. He's also called just Caleb or Caleb with a P at the end.
Caleb?
Have you heard of him? Have you heard of him?
Yes.
All right. So there's a lot of stories about him. The most that people usually talk about is the train. There was like a circus freak show deal that happened in 1882 where a train derailed and flipped over because the brakes failed. And that's when we found out that it was actually a freak show, and Caleb was supposed to be half goat, half man.
Oh, yeah. I think
Also-
I heard something about that.
We are having technical difficulties with the cords and the mics, so we have 2 mics for 3 people.
You're going to have to holler, girl. Oh, where I used to live, I'm just going to say it because I do not live there anymore and none of my family lives there. But basically, I could show you the map. I was actually going to ask you to bring the map up because I sent you the little thing to show it to them, just to show how close where I grew up to the tunnel. And I also have pictures that I sent her that she can add to the episode on our social media.
I also have my own pictures to contribute.
Yes.
From forever ago.
And I am going to tell my own story from when I went there. One of my friends told me that I went with her once, but I don't remember it because I've repressed a lot of my memories from like
That's
14
not
and
funny.
back because trauma. But anyways, other than the circus, there are stories of a man who was an employee of the railroad who went inside of the tunnel to check on the tracks, and a panther had jumped and attacked him and killed him.
Are there even panthers in Kentucky?
I've been told yes, but that's because they hear screaming women in
But
the
that
woods.
can also be foxes.
That's what I was fixing to say. I've heard that it could
People say
that.
that Caleb also has high-pitched screams.
Okay.
Okay, so in the areas that I grew up, I have heard those screams before. And that's another story that I have. I have 2 stories. I could just say when I was about probably 9 or 10, my sister and I were outside. We had a pool and we were swimming in the dark because we thought that was so fun for some reason.
It is.
It
swimming
is.
Not as fun.
I feel like it just feels better because the weather is like warm, the water's warm, but you're not like getting sunburned, you know. And I obviously am very, very white, so I really like just swimming at night. Anyways, we were outside, and at that point, I lived at a place called Slate Lick Church Road, and if you look up that place, that is where a lot of people talk about Red-Eyed Caleb.
Oh, really?
Yes. And my other story, which I'll tell at the end, is at another place that people talk about him. So we were in the pool and we heard the screaming, And my stepdad would say that's what a Black Panther does, because that's how they lure you, because they're a woman who needs help, or there'll be a baby crying. They can either make that noise or they will scream like a woman.
Like an actual live panther, like
Yes,
an
a
animal.
Black Panther,
You
big
were in
cat.
the pool and you heard that?
Yes, because I lived in the woods. It's nothing but woods. Okay, and I lived in the woods. I had no neighbors. I had one neighbor, and it was beside me, and it was my landlord at the time. So there was nothing else around. And I mean, I would go in those woods by myself for hours and hours and go fishing up in the woods. I mean, I was used to that. But
Scary.
yeah, I heard that screaming, and I told my stepdad about it, and he said, y'all need to get in the house because that's a Black Panther.
Go on, get.
Yeah, and I said, all right then. So I went on in the house, and that was the end of it. But I had heard that all through my life, that noise, when I lived there. And I was like, that's a panther.
Did your stepdad tell you about Caleb, though?
No.
So this is
I don't
like
think he knew.
Okay.
He was from Harlan.
That's like on the other end.
Yeah, so he didn't grow up here. Maybe he didn't know about it, or maybe he didn't want to scare us. I don't know, but my mom didn't give a shit to scare us, so she told us all about it. But anyways, that was my story. But anyways, back to the origins of Caleb. Another story was that a Black man was being killed by 2 white men, and his spirit is upset. And
I'm upset right with him.
Yeah. A lot of people would say that they would just see a black figure with red glowing eyes, and he would chase you, basically.
I've heard that
That's
about
supposedly.
Caleb.
How was he killed?
They didn't say. Did I tell about the horse already?
No.
Okay, so I think I started to, and it was the panther. Okay, I started to tell the story, but then I got sidetracked. But there was a man who was employed by the railroad, and he went into the tunnel to check on the tracks, and a panther had jumped off, attacked, and killed him. And then when that happened, the horse reared up and broke its neck on the ceiling of the tunnel, so people would see a man riding a black horse. So a lot of people say that's Caleb.
I will
Or
say,
Caleb.
unless that horse was like 20 hands high, that's not possible.
I know,
Because
it's a big
those
tunnel.
tunnels are high.
A lot of people say that they see a white dog. That's him. With also red glowing eyes. They also say that a drunk man was killed by the railroad tracks, like at the train, and that his bloodshot eyes represent the red glowing eyes.
So they've just come up with all kinds of
Reasons.
What is Caleb and what's
the
not.
people who work for the railroad actually say that they think it's possessed by a demon of some sort, because they see the stuff all the time. I do believe that there is something. We just don't know exactly what it was. Again, that was in the 1800s, so who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where a lot of legends started, was a long, long time ago. Another lady had told her version of a story was that it was something that was passed down to her from her family. And she said that a horde of locals, kind of like a Frankenstein movie, you know,
Ooh.
you know what I mean? They had chased Caleb down and cornered him in a barn.
Dang.
Like
he
Caleb as a
disappeared.
monster or Caleb as
Yes.
a person?
As a monster, as
okay.
an apparition.
Okay.
So I would assume probably the dog. Or probably the dark figure, because they didn't say anything about a horse. He got into the corner and then he disappeared.
That's weird.
But a spirit would.
But also, I don't think it would run from you. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it would.
But it can't be cornered either.
True. Like, I don't know if I believe that one.
There's also a man who lived to be like 103 years old that I've always heard about. He said that he believed that he was some apparition of a big cat. And that made sense because of the screaming woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard that a lot. And I think, I know that man was from East Bernstadt. I'm not going to say his name, and a lot of people do know him.
And he's dead now.
He is dead.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
He did.
I love when she says that.
So, we went to the tunnel last year.
Is that the tunnel? I was
Yes.
wondering if it was that.
We went there last year. Did you feel anything?
Exhaustion. Because literally
Tell
all
'em-
I felt was exhausted because we just kept going and going. And it
Why?
just-
Why were you exhausted?
because of how far we had to walk, man. How many
How
miles
far-
was that?
How many miles? What did we look up? It was like 3?
No.
3 in and 3 out?
Oh, wait, 6
No.
miles is a lot of miles, right?
I
Hold
feel like
on.
it was more than that. I really do.
for my fat ass.
And it wasn't even it wasn't even
Lord.
flat ground.
Wait a minute.
It was rocky. Flat. So it was killing me.
I mean, it is kind of in the middle of nowhere.
And then everybody was acting like it was no big deal, and I'm over here telling Sebastian I'm about to die. I'm about to die.
Oh,
Hazel,
man.
don't let her fool you. It was 10
It
miles.
was
It
10
was.
miles.
It was
She's
10
dramatic.
miles. When I tell
Where's
people this story,
Wildcat?
I tell them it was
She's
10.
dramatic. No, it wasn't at Wildcat. It was like off of the road, right at the train tracks, and then we walked
Yeah.
down.
It couldn't have been that far.
It was.
It
pretty
was,
far.
Hazel.
It
Listen,
was.
and hold
I
up.
rode a 4-wheeler down there, so.
Well, it wasn't the first one or the second one, maybe not even the third one. It was like that tunnel in the end. And every tunnel you would get to, you're like, okay, this is it. No, it wasn't it.
There were lots of tunnels.
Yeah. And we just kept
Did
going.
you not feel anything seriously, though, other than that? Like, when you got to the tunnel, did you feel anything? Was it dark?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it
couldn't
was
see
dark.
whenever you
When
got
it's supposed
so.
to happen is when it's dark out, obviously.
We went in and turned off the flashlights and stood there.
You didn't
I
feel
didn't-
anything?
No, I
All right,
didn't.
so are we ready to hear my story? So this is what happened to me, and it is 100% true. I would not make this up. It actually took a lot of convincing for me to go. Everybody in my friend group knows that I'm a scaredy cat when it comes to ghosts or the dark. I'm literally terrified of the dark, okay? So that was the thing I was worried about the most. So my stepsister, her name was... Can I say names? She's dead.
That's
She
fine.
did. Her name was Jessica, and she was dating this guy. I ain't gonna talk about him because he sucks. And you'll know why in a second.
He gave you trauma.
Yeah, he traumatized me for a very, very long time. So he was like, Hazel, we could just get on the 4-wheeler. I'll drive you through it, because I was like, if I have to walk through it, I'm not going. Because I
It
know
was-
that man's in there. I know
it was
he is.
fun walking through it though. I
actual
enjoyed
tunnel.
it. It was cold in there. It felt
All I
good.
know is I will run so fast you won't see me.
Yeah, I believe that too.
All right. So any of my friends know. The second I'm scared, I'm running. And you
She's
will not find
gone.
me again. I mean, one time I went to this haunted house, and I ran so far and so fast that they had to stop me in their costume and say, hey, you're way off track. And I mean, I knew that because I was in the briars.
You were off course.
Oh, yeah, honey.
completely.
He said, come back this way.
He
But
said,
anyway.
put the chainsaw down first.
Yeah, I was scared to death. But anyways, this man was driving me on the 4-wheeler. It was all good, whatever. He got me to the middle of that tunnel, turned the 4-wheeler off, lights off, and I was like, what are we doing? He took the keys and ran. He left me sitting on this 4-wheeler in the middle of that tunnel. This happened in like either 2010 or 2011, so at that point I think I was 13 or 14, so very young. Okay, very scared.
Imagine like baby Hazel out there scared.
Yes, I was so scared. So I just started running, and I was by myself, okay? And I was running so fast that I could literally not even tell if my feet were hitting the ground, okay? Yes. I was like, this son of a bitch. Anyways, I started running, and all of a sudden, I could feel somebody else running behind me and hitting my heels. I could feel something hitting my heels every step I took, like somebody stepping on the back of your shoe. It was like that, and I was running so fast, dude.
I would have turned around and punched him.
No, it made me run faster. By the time I got out of there, I literally passed everybody up that was waiting at the end of the tunnel. I said, I'm running home. I said, I don't like any of y'all anymore. I'll never hang out with you anymore. Like, something was chasing me. I'm out of here.
Did you never hang out with him
No,
again?
hell no.
You never forgave him, did you?
No.
Oh, that's the one that you were talking about. You're not friends with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I see why now.
Horrible.
Yeah. Fuck him.
I don't like you if you're listening, which I know you're probably not. But,
We have a story from Tunnel 9.
all right, let's hear it.
So we went, this is like in 2013, I think, and went with a group of people. The way that we went in, whenever we went in the opposite way.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
In like the back way to go in, whatever. And we had to walk forever. It was longer than our walk. So it was bad.
Was it just you and him, or
No, it was us and like other group of people.
that you didn't know?
No, they were Mikey's friends. He worked with them. So we go and we're going in. I have like a couple little paranormal investigation equipments, and we had like a voice recorder. When on the way there, a train passed us. Not the correct directions, but I'm gonna say this just so that you understand. So we were going like north.
Okay.
So a train passes us going north out when we're walking the
Okay.
tunnel. You also, whenever we were there, a train passed us
Yeah, I know, that's
going
what-
north.
Yeah.
Okay, keep that in mind.
Okay.
Just
Oh,
remember
God, I'm
that.
scared.
Listen, this is the scariest thing that I think has ever happened to me. Like, I'm legitimate. I still have no explanation for it. And
The look on your face is actually kind of scary me.
So we're in this tunnel now. This is like probably within like 20 minutes, I would say. So we're in there. Nothing's really happening. It starts getting kind of colder. This was in the middle of summer. It starts getting a little colder. And then we're in the tunnel. By the way, there are no train tracks. They've removed them.
Yep.
So there's another
That's
tunnel.
on the right side, right?
No, we were on the left side. The operating one was on
The right.
the right.
Okay.
Temperature drops. We are trying to use our voice recorder, trying to ask questions. We're using it. It starts getting like really hot in Mikey's hand. And he's like, this is weird. So it still is working at this point. As we are standing there, no tracks, by the way. No tracks here at all. Just dirt floor.
Okay.
The walls start vibrating.
No.
This is when the heart monitors are on.
They start vibrating.
As if
you
a
can
train's
you
coming.
can feel it, right?
Right?
But there's no tracks.
As if there's a train coming. Yes. All of a sudden,
so like-
we start hearing a train. We start hearing it. All of us panic because we are like, this is so loud. We are feeling the vibrations of this train.
You think the train is
something
hitting
is
you?
not right. Like, we have to go. So you know how trains have those tunnels have those little things.
Yeah,
that
where you can
jump
get in.
We all like how many?
No,
of us?
you were
7 of
not
us?
jumping in those.
We jumped in those. 7 of us crammed in there. 'Cause
No,
we-
and there's no tracks.
no, and there was no tracks, but we were so scared
That's how I know
of
you're telling
how
the truth.
realistic it was that we panicked.
Yeah.
So then we take off running to get out of there. We're closest to where we come in at. And we go down there. There is lights, like there's a train, but it was going south.
No.
So now you tell me there was no intersection for the north train to cut off. If it would have been a real train, they would have hit.
It was a ghost train.
Yeah, exactly what it
Yes.
was.
Tracks were cold too, right?
Oh yeah, and they went and they checked the train tracks to the
So
next
they know
thing.
for sure there
they were
was
not.
no train.
The tracks were cold. Mikey goes to get the recorder because he's like, I want to hear this train. I want to hear that we're crazy. The recorder, whenever he tried to turn it on, it wouldn't turn on. He opened the batteries; they were smoking,
That is
and it
almost
never
like the
worked
story I have
again.
to tell you.
Never worked again. Brand new recorder,
is so
never worked
scary.
again.
It was definitely a ghost.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
it
it
was
used
the
the
freak
energy
show.
from that
Train
battery
divided it
to
up.
do what it was doing, and it fried the thing.
Bought it, came
Oh
with
my
it.
god.
Do you think that was the freak show train?
Honestly, I feel
What
like
if
it.
was? Yeah.
I feel like it could have been.
That's the most like popular story is the freak show train. And a lot of the times actually if you look it up, which I tried to look up like any kind of train wrecks in the 1800s in Laurel County,
Couldn't
and I
find
didn't
it.
find anything, but there were ones that were super close. I think there was one in Pikeville and one some other place, but I mean it doesn't mean that it didn't happen because it might not have been reported because at
Yeah.
that time a lot of people didn't really like the freak show thing.
Yeah.
Some people did, but
That's
some
so
people
crazy,
didn't.
though.
It scared us to death, and after that
There's
we
no way
left.
It wasn't that,
No, I
There's
mean,
no way.
How are you going to touch the tracks and they're ice cold? And if a train, yes,
Yeah, exactly.
and the lights were like reflecting off of the inside of the tunnel, and they were like they were the rear lights. They were not the ones like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, so it was
would have
passing
been,
you.
yes, it was going
It
the
was
opposite
going-
way than what the other
yeah.
one went, and that's just not possible.
No.
They would
I
have
believe you.
collided.
I believe you. That's scary. And I'm glad I wasn't there. My sister told me a story. Her and a group of friends were going through the tunnel and they had just bought flashlights and they all stopped working after it had gotten cold. So,
That's why you were smiling at me whenever I said that,
because
because
she
you were
had
like,
the same experience.
That's a popular thing with the paranormal that they drain the batteries because they need the energy.
Yep.
Oh, that's so freaky though. No.
Yep. But that's how you know something's. If your electronics start messing up, go on
Something's
and
there. Yep. Go on, get.
get.
When I went, I think that it was around August or September, and it was very late at night, probably close to midnight, and I was very scared. And obviously,
Maybe that's
spiritual
why-
things feed off fear.
We didn't feel anything because we went in February or March.
I don't know. It was cold. That's all I remember.
Yeah. At night.
I'll wait for you on the other
I'm
side.
not going in the summer. I'm not going anywhere. Maybe.
At
night.
I thought it as you guys were saying it.
Oh my god. We are a SpongeBob podcast
I
at
love
this
it.
point.
I love it.
Okay, well, that is our episode for Tunnel 9. Hopefully, this is you guys like this. That
If
it's
you
not
do,
just
we'll keep doing
movies. Yeah. I don't know what we were saying.
We have social media.
We do. So find it.
What?
I'll have it all linked.
Please follow us,
Give
review
us a
share
review.
us.
Give us a 5-star, or else you can be honest, or else I'm getting them.
You're going to get
Yep.
them.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get them.
I'm getting them.
Are we on YouTube now?
Yep.
If we're on YouTube and you can leave a comment, maybe we'll read some if they're nice. If they're mean, I'm ignoring
gonna read
them.
especially if they're mean. So you can tell me I'm a dumb
Don't
bitch.
let me know because I'll cry.
Go ahead, repeat that.
No, I'm good.
No, go ahead. Repeat.
part of the podcast. This is your podcast. I'm literally an intruder.
Intruder, no. I was just saying she is a bitch. That's all I was saying.
All right then.
But we didn't
On
need to
caught
have me
in
say that.
1080p.
It's kind of obvious.
Oh,
These two girls are siblings, so they fight like crazy.
she just rolled her eyes at me. I just looked at her.
That was on camera.
All right, I'm in
Yeah, it
between you,
was.
so I ain't letting nothing happen. All right.
You gotta stop it. She ain't even trying to hit me back. Wow.
No,
okay,
'cause I
well.
accidentally hit Hazel and she don't deserve it.
Oh God, I love you.
Oh, but I do.
Very much so.
To give me one reason.
Danielle just existing right this close to
Besides
me.
that,
I don't know.
what is it about me that you hate?
I don't want to go on this subject.
What is it about me that you just hate so
Well, for
much?
one, your voice.
Do you want me to do this
Let's
from
get
now
some
on?
ASMR before we end the episode. Give me a sip of that.
Can I beat Sabrina's ass?
No.
In ASMR.
There is no ASMR for that.
Hit her in the head with that.
No.
I wonder what that does.
I love her.
Hit her. Go ahead.
Do you want a drink of my Red Bull?
I would be dead.
Oh, okay.
I don't do energy drinks.
This is my second one today.